A group of more than 200 conservative activists have made clear that gay marriage, marital equality, is a line that they cannot and will not cross, and they have vowed that they will not stand for the Supreme Court making gay marriage legal. They've also vowed, by the way, that they're going to ignore any ruling. What does that mean? We're going to speculate in a little bit, but let's give them a chance to make their case. We're going to read their statement for you. Now, this is coming from Liberty Council Action Chairman Matt Staver and Common Good Alliance Chairman Deacon Keith Fournier. They say, as the Supreme Court acknowledged in the 1992 decision of Planned Parenthood versus Casey, its power rests solely upon the legitimacy of its decisions in the eyes of the people. If the Supreme Court were to issue a decision that redefined marriage or provided a precedent on which to build an argument to redefine marriage, the Supreme Court will thereby undermine its legitimacy. It will be acting beyond its proper constitutional role and contrary to the natural moral law, which transcends religions, culture, and time, and space, and elves, or whatever. So I love this because I don't like the term butthurt, but I don't think a group of activists has ever been as butthurt as this. Now look, is the Supreme Court going to enshrine in the U.S. Constitution some implied idea of marital equality? I personally think with the rulings coming out of the Supreme Court, that's unlikely. Now they've made a few moves that have been seemingly reasonable. For instance, not being able to patent human genes. That's cool. And things like that. And yes, John Roberts has, in a couple of cases, not acted like an insane person. And so that gives me some hope. But I don't think that it's likely that they're going to say, yes, tomorrow gays can get married. I think that that's unlikely. But I love that they're so pissed off about this. They're so worried, just shaking in their boots. Oh my God, Adam and Steve are going to be able to get married, and so we have to organize. And let's get to the heart of the matter. They say that they're going to ignore any ruling. What the hell is that even supposed to mean? They can go and get married, has nothing to do with you. Now that's the argument we've been making to hopefully give them the idea that they don't have to worry about it because it doesn't influence their life, it doesn't affect their life in any way. But when it comes to ignoring the ruling, what does that mean? They're not going to attend the wedding? They're not going to bring presents? I swear, if the bouquet comes to me, I'm just going to let it fall at my feet. I don't even care, I'm ignoring it. It's ridiculous. It doesn't take your acceptance. It doesn't have anything to do with you. And so I assume that they mean they're more likely that they'll protest the marriages or they'll try to get laws passed in states around the country. If that's what they mean, and that's the only rational thing that could be coming out of them from their point of view, that's what they're already doing, and that kind of makes it an empty threat. Now, we have had movement recently. A couple more states have legalized gay marriage. Now, it's coming in a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's a ballot measure. Sometimes it's state judiciaries. Sometimes it's a bill passed by the legislature. Now, look, of those ways, I don't want it to be the judiciary. I don't even really want it to be politicians. I want the average person in every state to say, I don't care what other people do with their love and sex lives. It doesn't affect me. I can marry whoever I want. I can date whoever I want. I can have sex with whoever I want. That is the only rational way to approach issues of marriage equality. There's just such a lack of empathy in American politics. And note that I did not say American politics today. I am not under the delusion that it was better in the past. I think that it was, in fact, probably worse in the past. But it continues, unfortunately, on this issue. So I will once again, as I do every time we cover an issue like this, I will give a couple of words of, I guess, relief to the conservative activists. If by some miracle the Supreme Court says gay marriage is legal, and they do that in the next few weeks or months, or maybe they don't, but DOMA is knocked down at some point in the future, and more states legalize gay marriage, and someday, some dystopic future, gay marriage is legal across the country, your life is not going to be changed a damn bit. You're still going to either like your marriage or not like your marriage. You're going to be able to find someone to date or not date. You're going to have a good sex life, maybe a bad sex life, in which case there's always Viagra and things like that. Your life is not going to be affected in the least. The only people whose lives are going to be affected, the people who can now enshrine their love in the law, get the benefits that our government gives to people who are married, and things like that. Have them not feel segregated from the rest of society, have gay and lesbian youths feel like they're actually a part of America. So you've got your life not affected at all, them feeling like equal citizens. You do the math.